The 2012 playoffs were supposed to be the beginning of another legendary run. Derrick Rose had already become the youngest MVP in NBA history, the face of Chicago basketball. Every time he stepped on the floor, there was electricity. His speed was violent, his cuts sharp. Then came that drive in Game 1 against Philadelphia, a routine move he had done thousands of times. He elevated, planted, and the moment his knee gave out, time seemed to freeze. The crowd fell silent. Teammates looked around in disbelief. Rose lay on the hardwood, gripping his knee. The diagnosis confirmed everyone's fear. A torn ACL. In an instant, his career shifted. It wasn't just an injury. It was the collapse of momentum, the interruption of greatness. The player who once looked invincible suddenly looked fragile. Cameras captured his pain. Questions started immediately. Would he ever be the same? Could his explosive style survive this? For the first time, doubt entered the conversation surrounding Derrick Rose. Rehabilitation became his new arena. Instead of bright lights, quiet training rooms. The physical pain was sharp, but the mental strain was relentless. Day after day, he worked. Headlines speculated. Analysts debated. Whispers grew louder. He's taking too long. When he returned, it wasn't the triumphant comeback many imagined. Another injury followed, then another. Each setback felt like proof to critics that the old Rose was gone. Teams changed. Roles shifted. Yet behind the scenes, he kept showing up. Early mornings, late nights, empty gyms. He wasn't just fighting to repair a knee, he was fighting to protect his belief in himself. Every sprint, every jumper, every rehab session became a test of resilience. The world saw a star fading. Rose saw a battle he refused to lose. By the time Derrick Rose arrived in Minnesota, the narrative around him had been written. Former MVP, injury-prone, a shadow of his former self. He was seen as a question mark. But Minnesota wasn't about headlines, it was about survival. Rose understood something had to change. He could no longer rely purely on speed. The game demanded reinvention. He studied film differently. He worked on his jump shot. He learned to change pace. This was not the same player physically, but mentally he was becoming sharper. For the first time, he began accepting a smaller role without letting it shrink his confidence. Behind that humility was quiet determination. He wasn't chasing the ghost of his MVP season. He was building a new version of himself, rooted in patience and control. Teammates began to notice the professionalism, the steady work ethic, the absence of ego. Rose stopped trying to prove he was the old Derrick Rose. He focused on being effective. He rebuilt trust in his body and belief in his craft. It wasn't flashy, but it was progress. October 31st, 2018, didn't begin with predictions of history. Just another regular season game. Yet from the opening minutes, something felt different. Rose moved with a rhythm. His first step looked sharper. His jumper was confident. Every drive carried purpose. As the points started adding up, the arena energy shifted. Teammates reacted with disbelief. This wasn't nostalgia, this was dominance. Mid-range pull-ups fell cleanly. Three-pointers dropped with soft precision. Attacks at the rim were fearless but controlled. It felt like time had folded in on itself, blending wisdom with flashes of explosiveness. By halftime, it was clear he was having a special night. By the fourth quarter, undeniable. The crowd rose with every possession, sensing they were witnessing something rare. Each basket wasn't just 2 or 3 points, it was years of doubt being answered. Coaches stopped looking at stat sheets and started watching history unfold. As the game tightened late, Rose didn't shrink. He embraced it. This wasn't just a hot streak, it was the beginning of redemption taking shape. The number beside his name kept climbing. 40 points, 45. When Derrick Rose crossed the 50-point mark, it was a release. Years of surgeries, criticism, doubt, and quiet suffering seemed to pour out. Teammates fed him the ball, not out of charity, but out of respect. The final seconds approached with Minnesota clinging to a narrow lead. Rose rotated defensively and blocked the potential tying shot. It sealed the win. 50 points, a game-saving block, and a performance no one saw coming. When the buzzer sounded, the noise erupted, but Rose's reaction was quieter. Tears filled his eyes as he sat down, covering his face with a towel. It was relief. Those tears represented every lonely rehab session, every headline questioning his heart. That game wasn't just the best scoring performance, it was proof that perseverance could outlast pain. In the days that followed, the basketball world responded with collective respect. The 50-point game didn't erase the injuries, but it reshaped his legacy. Derrick Rose was no longer defined by what he lost, he was defined by how he endured. Younger players saw in him an example of longevity through adaptation. For Rose, the performance wasn't about reclaiming an MVP version of himself, it was about honoring the process. He had learned to play smarter, to conserve energy. More importantly, he had learned patience with himself. Careers are not linear. His redemption was not about returning to the past, it was about embracing growth. That night will remain a symbol of resilience in professional sports. Derrick Rose didn't just score 50 points, he redefined what a comeback truly means.